So all my life, I was basically focused on one thing, being a published songwriter. I just knew that if I could find someone who could recognize my genius, someone who liked my songs and help me get them used, and then I made money from this, just sitting at home all day and writing songs. Now, at that time, I was thinking that I would write great songs and the publisher would find great big stars to cover these songs and put them out on albums. I would become like a big songwriter, or maybe not even have any fame as a songwriter, but what I would have is money coming in from my songwriting and composing. So some of you may have gone down the artist route and you may have said, well, I just wanted to be an artist and be discovered by some record label. I would find that A&R person who would get my demo or who would meet me at a show or a gig or something and say, we got to have you in our record label. You got to be a big star, kid. Whatever your dream was, whether it was to be a music artist or whatever, whether it was to be like me, be a music songwriter, composer, and get a publishing deal, that was the dream. And if you've been waiting for that dream to come true, well, I have good news for you. It is here, my friends. You hear about it all day from people online and sync gurus like me. And we say, it's sync licensing. You've got to get into sync licensing. We talk about it like it's our passion, like it's the only way to make music income in the music industry today. And guess what? We're kind of right. Listen, to get signed as an artist these days is just as hard as it ever was. You only need like 1 billion Spotify plays and like 1 million TikTok followers. And signing with a music publisher is harder than it's ever been. And guess what? They are probably just going to try to get your song out to music licensing. Trying to get out and play is hard. What are you going to do? Go out and sell t-shirts all the time and play gigs for $100? So composers, artists, songwriters, beat makers, whatever you are, wherever you are, sync licensing is what you've been waiting for your whole musical life. It really is. You just don't know it yet. And today, I'm going to give you 3 very simple reasons why. But first, let's talk about something new I have for you called Getting in Sync. It is my new ebook. How convenient.
Well, how convenient.
But yes, I do have a new ebook for you called Getting in Sync. And basically, it's just my story on how I got into sync licensing, a focused 5-year plan to get into sync licensing. I lay the whole thing out in the book. And if you want to see more about that, you can just check out this video right here where I lay out the entire ebook and I talk about what's in it. I also have a new bundle, which includes both the Getting in Sync ebook and my other ebook, The Stock Market, which talks about how to get into stock music licensing. So you can get both of those at one price and get them in one place, along with all the free stuff that we offer. One download. So how is getting into sync licensing basically the thing that you've always wanted? Well, number one, it's a music publishing deal. At its heart, at its very core, getting into sync licensing is getting into a music publishing deal. You are getting your music published by a music library, which is acting as a publisher, and doing the exact same deal that you would get if you were getting this published by a standard music publisher. They are acting as an agency to get your music to someplace else that's going to use it. That's all music publishing is, trying to take a song and get some kind of use out of it that is going to pay you income and pay them income as well. So the library acts as a music publisher, and the sync library that's going to get you out to film and television is going to take 50%, and you're going to get 50% of the incomes from that use. This is all music publishing has ever been. Back in the day when you used to get something published by a music publisher and they would put it on an album, you guys would split that. The publisher would get 50% of the incomes from that album. You would get 50% of the incomes from the album. You would get mechanical royalties and you would get your performance royalties through someplace like BMI or ASCAP or whatever PRO you're part of. But it would be a 50-50 deal with you and the music publisher. It's the same with libraries. They're basically going to sign you to a publishing deal for the song or songs that you sign to them. And voila, you've got your songs in a music publishing deal. Congratulations. You are a published songwriter / composer. What I always dreamed for I have become. I always hoped that I would find a company that would like my music enough to work with it and push it out where it made money from use from some place. And I finally have that with sync licensing. I purposely made songs that I thought would be great in television, film, or advertising, and then I found libraries that would take them, and then they became my publisher, and here we are. I am now in many music publishing deals with different music libraries. What I always wanted has come true. So yay! Thing number 2, it's a record deal. Yes, you can be an artist that puts out music, that makes music, and then gets it into television, into film, into commercials and advertising, into gaming, into lots of things that you can do as a music artist. And by signing with a sync library, you're basically signing a deal for them to take your music, your artist music, and get it on television. And so now you are being celebrated as an artist by the music supervisors, by the TV companies, by whoever really wants to use your music. Welcome to being an artist. They are super happy to have found you a new artist that they can feature on their television show, on their movie, in their ads, whatever. They are looking for artists all the time to be part of this. And music supervisors especially love finding new artists to feature, to show off, to say, hey, I found this new artist and their music is part of our show. And that's just a very popular thing right now. Finding artists, finding recording artists that are going to be something that the show can feature in specific scenes and on different episodes, sometimes multi-arc episodes of a TV show, or sometimes even films that have sequels and things like this. We've seen this with featured artists like Imogen Heap, which propels a whole career, or Kate Bush, which revives a whole career with a recent showing in Stranger Things. You can really supercharge your artist career by getting into sync licensing. And the number 3 thing that you've always wanted in your music career was to make music income. And guess what? Sync licensing provides that too. Now, it's a bit longer road in sync licensing to get paid than it is, let's say, to do a gig. And tonight I go do a gig and I get paid $100 and boom, I've got that $100 in my pocket. But sync licensing is a much longer road than that. You hear people talk about this, how long it takes to get paid in sync licensing. But there's a lot of machinations that have to happen before you get paid from a use in a television show. First of all, it has to get in a library or get to a music supervisor that knows about it to put it in a show. Second of all, it has to get approved for the show. Then it has to get shot. Then it has to be aired, which could happen months later. And then it has to be recorded and sent off to the PROs that pay for the use of the song in the show. And then the PROs take 9 months to pay you from there. So it is a long process. You can wait a year or years until you see money coming back from use in a show. In other uses where it's a upfront buyout, you might see that happen a little sooner. But I have seen sync payments take a year to 2 years to get from starting with a library. So it can be a while before money comes in, but it is a money source. And I do believe from my experience, the more that I get out there, the more I am seeing starting to come in. And as far as I'm concerned, this is my music publishing deal. And so that is my music income that I am looking at over the next 5 or 10 years to start bringing me consistent income as I continue to feed libraries, as I continue to find uses for songs. I'm going to get them out there so this can be a long-term money income for me through royalties and through sync payments and other things like that. There's also some other things that sync licensing brings. It brings notoriety. It brings accomplishment. You feel like your music is really just getting out there and doing something. It's not just sitting on your hard drive. It's actually getting out and doing good in the world. It's in a film. It's in a commercial. It's in a documentary. It's in a TV show. Someone somewhere is benefiting from your music being used. You're able to sometimes even see that. I'm doing another video right now about where you can see how your music is being used in licensing. And it's really cool and sometimes very gratifying to see where that music is being used and not just how much you're making from it. Another great thing, if you do it the way I did it, is that you can just make the music that you want to make. Make the music that feeds your soul that you want to make, and you put that out and find uses for it in sync licensing and in other kinds of licensing. And really, you're making what is on your heart's desire to make, and you're getting that out and maybe getting you the deal that you've always wanted. Folks, we have always wanted a record deal, a publishing deal, money from our music. We have been waiting for that thing, and the music industry has been a closed door for a lot of these possibilities for a long time. But in the last 20 years, we've seen a loosening, a democratization of music. It's a big word, democratization. Yeah, the music business has opened up to everyone. The internet, Spotify, YouTube, the ability to record at home really well has changed everything. The technology has allowed everyone to become a free agent, basically, in their own music making, and then go out and be a free agent in finding those deals where we just could not do that. The walls were up at the labels and at the publishing companies and in the TV and film business, most likely as well. But now the walls are down. We can really approach these people, get the deals that we've always wanted to get. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, right now is sync licensing. Again, if you haven't heard, I've got the new ebook, Getting in Sync. You can get that at makemusicincome.com/gettinginsync. It's handy. And I'm also available for one-on-one consulting. If you want to talk, just get in touch with me at makemusicincome@gmail.com. I hope this has been helpful. I've got some more videos here on sync licensing that you can check out, and I hope they help. And I hope this helps you see that with sync licensing, you can have the record deal, the publishing deal that you've always wanted, and maybe the music life that you've always wanted. Thanks so much for watching.